On Sun 969, it's time to talk Red Centre Nats and custom cars, aces and eights with Peter Hondow. How are you?
G'day, how you going today?
Good. Now, you guys are heavily involved in Red Centre Nats.
Absolutely.
Tell us a bit about, before we get into Red Centre Nats, aces and eights. What is it?
Aces and Eights is a local car club. We do cars and motorcycles. We've been incorporated since 2007. It's a club for classic cars, veteran vintage, hot rods, muscle cars, that sort of thing. Yeah, and really it's about food and driving your cars these days. Food and coffee.
Food and coffee. Well, there you go. We love the cars. Obviously, Red Centre Nats is a time that we are very proud of. I think it's number 12 this year, so we're really excited to have that all happening in September.
We've been involved with Red Centre Nats right from the very start. We actually helped get the event up and running, some of our members. It's a little bit near and dear to us. It's a huge event for our town and we're pretty happy to be part of it. We do a Thursday night cruise, just our club, and that finishes at the Fringe Festival. We've been doing that from day one and it's grown and grown. I think the first cruise we did, we had about 40 cars. We've worked our way up to about 200 cars on the cruise now, so pretty happy with that.
That's huge.
Yes.
People can get involved in your club, is that right?
Absolutely. To be in the club, you have to have a classic car or something like that. The MVR requirement is 30 years, classic, veteran or vintage, and it must be a member of a club that will accept the car. And we're quite happy to have muscle cars and hot rods is probably our mainstay, but we have some restored cars, we have old classic motorcycles, pretty much anything you can think of at this stage. And we even provide for the guys with maybe a late model Commodore or something like that. We're quite happy to have you in the club. The only thing we would put on is you'd become an associate member rather than a full member, which is exactly the same. It's just we don't have voting rights. So we're just trying to keep the core of the club, older vehicles, that's all.
So when you say voting rights, you have a committee and all that sort of thing?
Yes, absolutely. We have a president and vice president, a committee. I think we've got 6 on the committee at the moment as well.
Sounds like a lot of effort and a lot of people involved in the club as well. How many members do you have?
We've lost a lot of members over the years. I think we're around about 70-odd members at the moment, but in our heyday, I think we're up around 140 or 50 members. It still is a very active club. We do about 10 or 12 runs a year, usually on a Sunday morning these days, but sometimes we might do a drive-in or a scavenger hunt. We've got a poker run coming up on the 15th of next month. We'll do a bit of a run around the town and we support a lot of the local businesses. We have a lot of clues hidden at different places, so we just make people drive to those just to keep it in the forefront and remind people that there are local businesses out there. And we'll finish at a restaurant and give out some prizes and have some breakfast and enjoy the rest of the day.
Sounds like a lot of fun. So you do about 12 runs a year. So a run is basically where you drive your cars around from one place to another?
Correct, yeah. We normally have a meeting point at the start of a run, so we have to do a sign-on. So when people arrive, we have a book that we pass around and everyone signs in and we put the rego number or the member number down. And we usually take photos of the cars just for our records and for MVR. We proceed with whatever the run might be. The last one was just a member sign-on, which we did at the Mercure. Bit of a worry. The Todd was down pretty deep that time.
Yes,
and it was underwater 4 days before we were there and we were lucky to have the spot that we did. But they put on a breakfast and they give us a discount. We normally negotiate a discount price for a group of people to come through and everyone's happy to do that. So it's a good morning. It's very social.
And how do people become members?
You have to come and see me usually. Any of the committee can do it, but I have entry forms at my workshop, Custom Automotive, which is at 33 Wilkinson Street. So if anybody wants to call in there is a Facebook page, Aces and Eights Alice Springs. So if anyone would like to contact us, they can do that through that. Usually most of the members are all locals. It's mostly word of mouth.
Fantastic. Well, it sounds like a really active club. Obviously, you want more members because, as you said, you had your heyday of almost double the size the club was then. So you could probably get a few more members back on board and new people coming to town too. There'll be a lot of new people coming to town at the moment as well.
As you know, it's a transient town. There's a lot of people here only for a short stay for a few years and then they're off again. But we seem to have had more people leaving than coming of recent, but always happy to have new members and come on board. And we've made some pretty good friends over the years, through a club, I suppose, but lifelong friends.
Now, this year's Red Centre Nats number 12. What will you guys be doing with Red Centre Nats 12?
There's a few of us in the club that normally volunteer with the Nats. I'm involved in the judging side of it and a couple of others in the scrutineering sector. There's always jobs to do. They're always short of volunteers to do that sort of thing. As a club, we'll be doing our Thursday night cruise as well. And there'll be probably a few members in the club that'll have another crack at Grand Champion just so that we've got some local contingent in there. And it's a very busy time, but great fun. We are pretty lucky to have an event like this in our town. They don't come along all that often, things like this, so we need to just get on board.
We want everyone to get behind it and support it this year again, like last year. It was a great event last year and getting bigger every year with different things, different activities. We've got dirt drags, got all sorts of things happening now. You know, the best way to get involved and understand what's going on is to join a club. So join the Aces and Eights and find out more and get into Custom Automotive in Wilkinson Street and grab your membership. Can you join as an associate member if you don't have a car because you're just a fan of cars and maybe you're thinking of getting one?
If you've got a car under construction, or you're looking at buying a car maybe, or you've got a late model car like an SS Commodore or something like that, we're quite happy to have you come along. Yeah, it's basically is a car club, I suppose. We can bend the rules here and there.
Yes, indeed. With your personal cars, what's your favourite? You'd have a few cars, wouldn't you?
I've got lots of cars.
Yeah?
I'm a hot rodder. Probably my favourite, I've got a black 36 Tudor, which was the first hot rod I built.
Wow.
That's been on the road since 2003. I think we got that going. I hated the car when I first got it finished. I think it was that much time and effort went into building it, but it's my favourite of all the cars. I absolutely love it.
How many do you have?
Try not to count.
Sounds like a lot. If you've lost count, that means there's more than you've got fingers and toes, probably.
Yeah, too many is almost enough.
It's a labour of love too, as you say, putting those cars together, fixing them up, and a lot of guys over the years, and some girls, often think about project with their kids and working on it, and then they realise it's a lot of work, a lot of effort involved. It's not just sitting under it for a few minutes. You've got to paint it, you've got to get everything right on it. When I look at each of those cars, particularly when the Grand Parade at Red Centre Nuts, and I've never fixed a car myself, but I've been around a lot of people who do, I see the work that they've put into it and the time and effort, their pride and joy, and the many things that they didn't do.
A lot of sacrifices to be made, and some cars take thousands of hours to build, depending on what you want to try and achieve. But that black car in particular, I think we spent 3,000 hours on that.
Wow.
To put that into perspective, you know, that's your job for 2 years, including Saturdays, just that job. It's a lot of work. You know, they usually take years to come to fruition, but there's nothing quite like driving a car you built yourself.
Yeah, I can imagine. Thank you for joining us today. Is there anything else you'd like to tell us about before you head off?
No, I'm very happy with that, but thank you very much for having me on today. It's been a pleasure.
We've been talking to Peter Hondow about Aces and Eights, and you can join Aces and Eights, find out more on the Facebook page, and you can also head over to Custom Automotive. That's in Wilkinson Street and find out more there.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.